Tired of fighting your email? Let Cucumber & Company help. We're an authorized reseller of email and cloud storage powered by both Microsoft and Google. Premium accounts start as low as $10 a month. Stop having your emails go to spam folders. Get industrial strength email. Plus gain access to an entire suite of services, helping your team stay productive and connected. Business grade email and cloud storage powered by Google and Microsoft. Schedule an appointment to get started.
And fans, we are getting ready to kickstart an incredible hour of wrestling action. Kicking it off for us, it's going to be Damien Wayne going one-on-one with the amazing Matthew Scott. Damien Wayne, one of the most accomplished journeymen in the sport of professional wrestling. He is a former three-time NWA national champion, a former North American champion, and an NWA dog where he was a staple. He was the champion there for 1,000 plus days. No easy feat anywhere you go. And the fans here taking exception to Damien Wayne. And despite the fans' best wishes, Damien Wayne is not the kind of guy who's going to be shaken easily. As you see his opponent come out, the amazing Matthew Scott. Matthew Scott's father, of course, Dangerous Dave Scott of the Syndicate, who will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And Matthew Scott at the beginning of his career, but he shows a lot of promise. Damien Wayne, though, says he's going to take him to school today. And we are going to see how that turns out. Tall task for Matthew Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it has a 20-minute time limit. Introducing to you, he is a three-time NWA National Champion from Nashville, Tennessee. He is Damien Wayne.
Well, so much for ring introductions. Jason Schaefer needs to get the heck out of that ring. He almost got run over there. And Damien Wayne, he said he was going to take Matthew Scott to school, and Matthew Scott, he relaxed for a moment, and you cannot do that when you're in there with a man like Damien Wayne. As we've already said, a former national champion.
Second generation superstar Matthew Scott, the amazing one, has got his hands full tonight with Damien Wayne.
Yeah, and until a moment ago, things not looking great for him. But you know, one hip toss of sorts later, Damien Wayne backed into really the worst thing he could have backed into, all things considered.
All I can tell you is I know up there in Atlantic City, New Jersey, his father, Dangerous Dave Scott, is watching, and he's got to be proud of this young man.
All right. And, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again, there's no place for this in professional wrestling, but here we are in Beckley, West Virginia, where we like to teach them to be punks young.
That's right, Stephen Hensley. And how about, you know, while we're on the subject, how about that announcement this week that January 6th, right here at the Crossroads Mall, we're going to be giving the West Virginia Legends Award to the Syndicate. Dangerous Dave Scott, Joey By God Morton, Adorable Danny Ray, the Good Dr. Roger Ham, as well as Shotgun Johnny Sullivan will be right here in this very arena receiving that West Virginia Legends Award.
And you know, it could not go to a faction of more well-deserved individuals, however you may have felt about them when you were watching them.
They definitely left their mark here on West Virginia Indy Wrestling, and look at that, certainly inspiring this young man, the amazing one, Matthew Scott.
But you know, Matthew Scott, you would think this is the kind of thing that his father would have prepared him for. That thumb to the eye, that quick turn of the match. He has to know how easily that can come about. His father did that left and right, so it perplexes me. Good duck by Matthew Scott there, that he would fall prey to moves like that, but you know, you do have to get caught with something, so why not a thumb to the eye? It'll catch anyone.
Dude, what a feather in the cap it would be, Stephen Hensley, for Matthew Scott to achieve a victory tonight here over three-time national NWA champion,
well, a huge
Damien Wayne.
A huge accomplishment it would be, and you know, he had a great shot there after Damien chopped that post, but instead of going after that hand, instead of taking that apart, which would have been great, it would have prevented Damien Wayne from using that elbow he loves, he decided to high-five the fans with that hand.
Well,
and why would you do that, again, when you're in the ring with a man who has been a former national heavyweight champion, not once, not twice, but three times. Three times.
Big scoop and a slam from the former NWA champion, Damien Wayne, as Matt Scott lays just wondering where he went wrong. And we've got a cover.
Well, he's a wondering and a dreaming of a better set of circumstances. Perhaps he's thinking back on moments ago when really he could have taken apart Damien Wayne's arm. But unfortunately for him, he lost sight, and as Damien said earlier when you were interviewing him, he's taken Matthew Scott to school.
Yes, I definitely got a lesson here for the youngster. Matthew Scott is going to have his hands full. He's got to get back to a vertical base. He's got to get some offense in. He's got to get his stuff together and get back at this match.
And you know, we talk about the advantage Matthew Scott has had with the tutelage of Dangerous Dave Scott. But let's call back to a time when Damien Wayne was cutting his teeth, when he had tutelage. And during that time, he learned from individuals like Phil Brown, Preston Quinn, and I'm sure wrestling fans listening to this voice right now are going to remember this name, Tully Blanchard.
Ha, absolutely. Look at that. He rolls him up. And he gets the win.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Well, fans, I am absolutely sorry. I was not prepared for this on commentary at all. I was almost asleep at the wheel when that happened. But the amazing Matthew Scott has just pulled off the most the most amazing win of his career. This is dumbfounding. There are upsets, and then there are cataclysmic moments that redefine a career. And for Matthew Scott, the amazing Matthew Scott, today is the day. He just defeated a 3-time national champion. I cannot believe it. And fans, if I can't believe it, if you can't believe it, look at Damien Wayne. You know he is in shock. Dumbfounding circumstances before our eyes, but what a win.
Welcome to Retro Reset Video Games and Collectibles, located at Crossroads Mall in Mount Hope, West Virginia. We have thousands of video games, consoles, and accessories, as well as a wide variety of affordable and high-end collectibles, including cards, comics, Hot Wheels, Funko Pops, and vintage toys, all ready for you to buy, sell, or trade. We also host celebrity meet and greets and vendor shows, as well as private parties. So visit Retro Reset today at Crossroads Mall or online at retroent.tv.
Get that website up. Get your website up. Get that website up. Get your website up.
Enough of the delays, enough of the excuses. Finally get your website live, hosted, and updated anytime you need it for one low monthly rate. 304-250-0123. Online at cucumberandcompany.com.
All right, wrestling fans, as we continue on with great wrestling action here on the New River Network, we want to remind you, if you want to check out our previous episodes, be sure to hit up the YouTube channels of both Cucumber and Company, our production team, and hit up the YouTube channel for the New River Network as we see OPK make his way out here today for a big three-way match. He's going to be taking on Willie Storm, and they're both going to be taking on Gen Z. And the fans absolutely behind this young man. And the fans, you hear that chant lighting up. Okay. Okay, we'll see what he can do. And you see Willie Storm making his way out here. And the fans certainly feeling affection towards this gentleman. This big old country boy, he's not someone you want to go to sleep on in there. He's a bit of a throwback. He's not really a muscle guy. He's not really a cruiser guy, though he is quick. What he's got is explosive power behind a frame more reminiscent of a barroom brawler. And you hear the music now, fans. That will play out. Gen Z, as you see him come through the curtains there. Don't let that baby face fool you at all. This guy might be young to the game, but he is excitement, he is energy, and he's got charisma behind him. If you don't want to get behind him, fans, that's not going to perplex him for a second. There are people that can stand up to the hate, and there are people that will fall for it. He's not one that's going to fall because of the haters. He's used to people sipping on haterade. But he's the guy who's going to make the play happen if he has anything to say about it. And you see Gen Z climb the ropes. And you hear him say all day long. Well, he doesn't need to go all day long. But I imagine in the next 15 minutes, he's got to make it happen. So we'll see if he can go for the 15 or less.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following match is scheduled for one fall. And it is a triple threat match! Introducing to you, from West Virginia, he's okay. And from Fargo, North Dakota, hide your girlfriend, he's Willie Storm. And from a merch table near you, he's the Merch King. It's your boy all day long, Gen Z.
All right. As Jason Schaefer makes his way back over to the commentary booth to join me, I want to remind you, we've got an incredible main event still to come in this program. It's going to be Ricky Morton and the Wrestling Machine Corey Sparks taking on the team of Tyler Osbourne and Layne Cali. And also before that, we're going to see women's championship action as the great Sisaki takes on Nurse Mika.
All those are great matches, but we've got a great match right here, Stephen Hensley.
Hey, welcome back, Bubby.
We got Willie Storm. We got
I
Gen
missed you.
Z. Willie Storm trying to get something going as Gen Z, wrenching that arm, working that arm there.
And you know, I gotta appreciate the technique here. While that did get reversed quickly, he had great positioning of his hand underneath the elbow of Storm. I'm kind of surprised he was able to slip out of it so quickly. But you see Gen Z reach behind him.
Nice reversal by Gen Z.
Good side headlock. And this guy is a self-ascribed king of merch, if I heard you correctly.
He is. He's the Merch King.
Maybe we should take pointers. I could use a couple extra bucks.
You and me both, all day long.
All day long. And you know,
Look at this. He goes right to work. He's got, Willie Storm breaks it. Nice.
good enziguri. Gen Z going to come off the ropes now. Or excuse me, Willie Storm coming off the ropes into a big forearm by Gen Z.
Gen Z giving both men a taste of that forearm. And then Willie Storm delivering one of his own. Sort of a European uppercut style blow there delivered by Willie Storm. He signals that this is over with. Look at this, Stephen Hensley.
Nice gut wrench. He's throwing him out there.
Over the top rope.
That was a powerbomb over the top rope onto his opponent. I do not know for a fact if I have ever seen that before.
Willie Storm, no stranger to either of these competitors, and figures he's going to take this one home early tonight.
Well, Jason, let me ask you a question. Do you think he's okay?
He's okay. What do you think?
He's okay. He's
He's
not
okay.
great. He's not bad. He's okay.
He's okay.
But he is getting chopped, and he does need to move.
Gen Z from the high rent district, and all three men go down.
And that's a lot of mass to come flying off the top.
You know, interesting choice of words there, Stephen Hensley, as Gen Z goes back after OK. Look at this. OK delivering right after right after right. He goes off the ropes. Look at that, into a cutter.
And that could do it. That could be all she wrote. Willie Storm, though, gets back in the ring, drops an elbow on him. That's going to stop it.
Breaks it up. Breaks up that pinfall attempt. all three of these men. Oh, nice super kick delivered by Willie Storm to the Merch King Gen Z as he hoists him up.
Well, he's got him in position, but that weight worked against him. He wasn't able to hold him up. But you know, the way Gen Z landed just now, I'm not sure he was in a good position for getting out of it. As you see Willie Storm go to clothesline OK instead of going for a pinfall, I would have gone for that. But OK coming off the ropes now, and you see him flip over there with his own variation on whether you want to call it a cutter or a crusher. It certainly rocked Willie Storm, and Mr. Storm gets his back cracked. I imagine his liver's quivering as OK goes for the pinfall 2-3, and that is it.
Oh, look at that.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner! Oh, hey!
And OK pulling off a major victory for him today in his debut performance on our program. And it's easy to look past this stuff.
Can you believe it, Stephen Hensley?
I mean, we saw a miracle in the first match. Why not in the second match? And you know, this OK guy, he came out here. I said he was okay. You said he was okay.
He's okay.
I look at him. I see someone, he's white bread. He doesn't overexcite me, but these fans love him. And Jason Schaefer, you can't take it away from him. He made it happen today. He made it rain for himself. He's going to the pay window.
Welcome to Retro Reset Video Games and Collectibles, located at Crossroads Mall in Mount Hope, West Virginia. We have thousands of video games, consoles, and accessories, as well as a wide variety of affordable and high-end collectibles, including cards, comics, Hot Wheels, Funko Pops, and vintage toys, all ready for you to buy, sell, or trade. We also host celebrity meet and greets and vendor shows, as well as private parties. So visit Retro Reset today at Crossroads Mall or online at retroent.tv.
Call Cucumber if it's a website that you're needing. Our phone number is 2500123.
For just one low monthly rate, get your site built, updated, and maintained without any upfront fees or additional costs. Call 304-250-0123. Online at cucumberandcompany.com.
And welcome back, wrestling fans. It's time for Women's Championship action as we see the great Sisaki come out here today. And she's going to be taking on Nurse Mika, and you know, this one's been personal. Ever since Nurse Mika came out to congratulate the great Sisaki upon Sisaki winning that title from Ari Alexander, and Sisaki not just spitting in her face, but spraying her with that mist, potentially trying to blind Nurse Mika, you know that the bad feelings, they've been simmering. Sisaki, not the woman you can take your eyes off of in the ring. She is essentially a kaiju out there. And while fans, I know you aren't involved in the contest, if you get a ticket to watch her wrestle and you're sitting in the front two rows, be on guard because you are essentially a pedestrian at that point, sitting in the middle of traffic. And the referee, he's going to want to get those chains away from her. She's not going to be shy about using those if the mood strikes her. As you hear the fans, And in answer to their call, you hear the music of the woman who will challenge for the title tonight, adorned in the Santa cap with a shiner on her face but fight inside of her heart, Nurse Mika. Mika not taking her eyes off the champion for a moment. If this wasn't about the title, she would still be focused. If it wasn't about the personal feelings, she would still be determined. But when you throw both of those things on top of her spirit as a wrestler, my friend, you have opened a door to hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. And it is for the PWL Women's Championship. She needs no introduction. She is your PWL Women's Champion. From parts unknown, the great Sisaki. And introducing to you, from the Boone County Regional Medical Center, she is a former PWL Women's Champion. Put your hands together for Nurse Mika.
And as you hear once again, the fans beginning to chant the name of Mika, you can feel the anticipation from the crowd permeating through this building.
Stephen Hensley, what a co-main event we've got here on television this week. Both these ladies are ready. Both these ladies know what it means to be the victor in this match. Both these ladies looking to take home this gold.
And you know, while it's not the central point that we could be making right now, both of these women currently are undefeated on our program.
Absolutely. That is correct. And look at this. They're going right at it right away. Nice arm drag delivered by Nurse Mika. Sisaki gets back to her feet, and another.
Mika there to meet her, though, with a nice pump kick to the gut. And she's going to run in after her. Smashes her with her forearm, rolls out, goes back in one more time. Nice running uppercut.
You know, I think it needs to be said, Stephen Hensley, that we're seeing a little bit different Nurse Mika here tonight than we've seen in the past.
Well, she's very fired up. She's got all the cause in the world to be motivated, given everything that's happened and everything that's on the line.
Oh, and that maneuver delivered we've seen time and time again by the great Sisaki.
And you know, what a difference a couple weeks made. A couple weeks ago, Sisaki was out here. These fans loved her for being very much the same person she's being today. But because Nurse Mika stepped up to her, because the fans love Nurse Mika, now the great Sisaki isn't favored by them. And I've got to say, fickle fans.
Well, Stephen Hensley, make no bones about it. We know that you are a huge fan of the great Sisaki.
I like wrecking machines, that's all I'm saying. She's my favorite kaiju this year.
Look at that nice snapmare takeover. She backs up and delivers that elbow with some force.
Lateral press, no pinfall. Let me ask you a quick question here, kind of off subject.
Sure.
Godzilla versus Sisaki, who you got in that fight?
Sisaki.
All right.
The great Sisaki.
Sisaki versus Mothra.
I got to go with the great Sisaki.
How about Robo Godzilla?
Well, you know something, Stephen Hensley? The great Sisaki makes me nervous, and I'm not going to say that I'm gonna go for anybody but. I don't need her coming after me. You see what she's doing here tonight to Nurse Mika.
Yeah, but when you say that name, all fun and games aside, when you say Nurse Mika's name, when I ask you the question, can you Can she beat Nurse Mika? I imagine there's going to be a pause.
There is a bit of a pause. I mean, the way that I call this one, or the way that I look at this one, this match is straight down the middle. It's even. Both women have a lot of speed. Both women are fierce competitors, and both women are hungry to take home that gold.
Sisaki pulling her back into the knee by the hair, and I don't
think the referee sees that,
Well,
Steven.
I think he does. He did start the 5 count there, but I was surprised he was in position, was on the other side. I thought she did a great job of hiding it.
I did too. Nurse Mika firing away and
coming
off the ropes. Oh, look at this. Nice reversal, and she rolls her up. She's even hooked that leg. I thought she had it there, Steven.
Unorthodox distribution of weight, but it looked like it was going to be very effective. I thought it could have been over there. And you see Sisaki choking Mika over the ropes there. She's seen so far, unfortunately. Nurse Mika, she's the kind of gal, she's got a lot in the tank there. So maybe the strategy now, deprive her of wind. Take that oxygen away. You got to wear her out before you can pin her out right.
Not only that, but I think the great Sisaki is trying to change the pacing of this match a little bit so that she can keep the upper hand. She's attempting to scoop Nurse Mika up. That didn't work out so well.
No, it didn't. Mika fought through with a crucifix pinfall attempt there, and while it wasn't pretty, it was really effective, and she almost stole the win.
Oh, look at this.
Mika, though, catches her, clubbing blow to the back, takes her down to the mat. I think there may have been a hair pull on that one as well, but again, you cannot argue with the effectiveness.
That's right. You can't argue with results, can you? Again, she's attempting to scoop Mika up. Again, what could she be going for here, Stephen Hensley?
Nice tumble through from that fireman's carry. And it's a good chance.
Places her shoulders on the mat. A little bit of a lackadaisical cover, if I may say. She's not going to get the job done like that.
No, and I hate to nitpick here because I do like Sisaki, but that was a lazy pin. You can't do that with a Nurse Mika.
No. I think Sisaki a bit off of her game. I think she maybe expected to have already won this match by now. I think maybe she expected to just bowl right over Nurse Mika.
Well, Sisaki climbing the ropes now. Nurse Mika dazed. She has incurred a lot of punishment over the duration of this one, but she runs in. She knows she's in trouble. She can't let Sisaki off the top, and she launched her down to the mat.
Look at that with force, Stephen Hensley.
She's trying to lock her up.
She's got that crossface applied.
If she pulls back a little bit harder, she can end this one. Sisaki in a trouble position. She's got to make it to the ropes or roll her over. She cannot stay in this for much longer.
Look, as if on cue, Sisaki heading towards that rope. Can she quite get her foot to it? I don't know, Stephen Hensley. I don't know.
She's inches away. She's just got to reach. Oh. She's got it.
Referee calling for the break.
And that was do or die for Sisaki.
Nurse Mika taking a page from the submission sorcerer Kincaid and applying that crossface to great effect lately.
Well, Mika's submission game is incredible. You can't go to sleep on that. She takes people apart in that ring. When we use this word sparingly, but it can absolutely be used for her. She's a mechanic as you see her lie in wait.
Oh, super kick delivered. Now, Stephen Hensley, I feel like she's losing precious time here. She didn't go immediately for the cover, and I think that could hurt her in the long run.
Well, she's winded, Schaefer. It's just that simple. She's been on the receiving end, and even fighting out that took a lot out of her. And you see right there, I think she normally would have been able to get that if not for the punishment already received by virtue of that absolute monster.
She delivered a spine breaker-like maneuver there and went for the
half
cover.
Bear hug, half spine buster.
Yeah, it was
a hybrid of sorts.
I call it a spine breaker.
Well, if it's coming from her, you're absolutely right. If it's coming from Sisaki, you can break your spine every time.
Absolutely. Look at this. She's put her in the corner. She's saying this is over. She winds up and heads in with a full head of steam and finds nobody home. Stephen Hensley, the tide of this match is getting ready to turn.
Well, Sisaki, while she came in with as much steam as she had left, she's running out. And you saw her try to grab at the leg of Mika there, but just so little in the reserves right now. I think all that time she spent just putting the boots to Mika, just laying into her, she wore herself out. but Sisaki ducks out of the way. Nurse Mika runs in after her. Sisaki, while she got a glancing blow to the face, held on to her, threw her down to the mat by one arm.
Grabbing another handful of the hair as she brings Nurse Mika back to that vertical base, winds up and just launches her into the ropes.
And Sisaki staying on top of her, using all of her weight, just leaning into her throat, just choking as much air as she can out of her. And that's why I was saying a moment ago, I think the best you can do is take all the wind away from her. Mika's got wind, she's a problem.
Absolutely. She's a problem. She's got a lot of power. And look at this. Look at this, Steven.
Well, she got caught and she got dropped. Flatliner, face first. This can be a knockout. And
Both
while
women down.
Mika's moving around, but she's dazed.
Yeah, both women down. Both women dazed. Both women have been through a lot of punishment right here in the squared circle on television tonight.
And we want to remind you, fans, if you love tremendous wrestling action like this, in case you lost track or you're watching us on YouTube, 9 o'clock's New River Network, Retro Reset Rasslin.
That is correct, Stephen Hensley, and that's where anybody with any sense is on Thursday nights here in southern West Virginia.
You know, I heard we're so popular, they banned that question on Jeopardy.
Oh!
And that spinning side slam, that's lights out if she hooks the leg. One and
You
done.
got it. We've got a winner, the great Sisaki.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still PWL Women's Champion, the great Sisaki.
Well, despite a very fervent effort on the part of Nurse Mika, the great Sisaki
Going home with that gold yet again. She's on fire here in Retro Reset Wrestling. Your women's champion, Stephen Hensley, the great Sisaki.
And fans, you can expect to see her stomping through Beckley, West Virginia, stomping through Mount Hope, and anywhere she darned well pleases. And you're going to want to stick with us. We've still got huge main event action for you. Former NWA World Tag Team Champion, Hall of Famer Ricky Morton, and the Wrestling Machine Corey Sparks taking on Tyler Osbourne and Layne Cali. Coming up next.
Welcome to Retro Reset Video Games and Collectibles, located at Crossroads Mall in Mount Hope, West Virginia. We have thousands of video games, consoles, and accessories, as well as a wide variety of affordable and high-end collectibles, including cards, comics, Hot Wheels, Funko Pops, and vintage toys, all ready for you to buy, sell, or trade. We also host celebrity meet and greets and vendor shows, as well as private parties. So visit Retro Reset today at Crossroads Mall or online at retroent.tv.
Cucumber & Company offers online e-commerce solutions to businesses of all sizes. Whether you're a hands-on entrepreneur or prefer a guided approach, we're here to help in any capacity, ensuring your online store is tailored to your needs. You'll have as much control as you want. From initial setup to ongoing support, Cucumber & Company will design and host an e-commerce website that showcases your products and streamlines purchasing for your customers. Visit cucumberandcompany.com to learn more today.
wrestling machine, Corey Sparks.
Hey, now, how y'all doing? No. We're at the wrestling tonight. We got to raise some hell in here. Come on. What y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yeah, that's a lot better. Hey, I bet most of you come here just to see if I'm still alive, dude. He can't be wrestling. Oh, yeah, but I am. Hey, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight. And always remember this. Support your local wrestling, because you don't never understand what star you might see tonight, that you might see on TV on Monday night. So, but understand this, these guys in the back, including me, none of us could be here if it wasn't for you. All right, give yourself a hand. Now, y'all got to wake up in here. We got to do it. You know, we got to go on. You know? Rock and roll! Rock and roll! Rock and roll! Thank y'all very much again. All right, let's go.
And the fans and Ricky Morton enjoying themselves. And you see Ricky's partner for today, Corey Sparks, making his way out here. And he is filled with energy. And you know, I can't blame him. You have got to imagine, as a longtime wrestling fan himself, he grew up watching Ricky Morton. And imagine going from being a fan when you're a kid watching Ricky Morton to growing up, becoming a man, a professional athlete, a professional wrestler, and being given the opportunity to team with one of your childhood heroes. It's about opportunity and pride and that big old spotlight. And we've got it all for you right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a tag team match. It's scheduled for one fall. Introducing to you, from Bristol, Tennessee, he is a Hall of Fame wrestling icon, rock and roll Ricky Morton. And his partner tonight, from Macon, West Virginia, He is the Vapor Wave Visionary. And his partner tonight from the Cali Dome, Layne, Cali.
And fans, you do not want to turn that dial away from this action. You might be looking for other wrestling action in West Virginia, better wrestling action. I'm going to promise you right now, you're not going to find it. Certainly not at 9 o'clock on the New River Network.
You're not going to find great wrestling action anywhere except on the New River Network.
I suppose it's going to be Mr. Osbourne starting things off for his team. And I believe Mr. Sparks has elected for his team to go first. And the fans are alive now.
The fans are alive here in Beckley, West Virginia.
Ricky Morton can still get him to stand up and wake up. You got to give him that. H hasn't taken that from him.
That's right. Look at this. From Pleasure Island to Vaporwave Visionary. Removes his shirt. And what in the world?
Well, he needs to vent. You know, you get that mesh on there instead of that full-on shirt there. You get to aerate your midsection there.
There you go.
You know, maybe it's more aerodynamic this way.
He definitely is. And I think he's definitely got his hands full with the wrestling machine, Corey Sparks. And you know, Stephen Hensley, to think I almost wore that same outfit tonight.
Well, oh, as Mr. Osbourne?
Yes.
That's a hard no for you, Bubby. I don't think you can pull that one off.
Well, like I said, almost, Stephen Hensley.
It was a good choice.
For him.
For everyone.
For everyone.
The fans saying some really hurtful things towards the corner of Cali and Osbourne, but you know, the hell with them.
Look at this.
Good rear waist lock. Unfortunately, doesn't get to take him anywhere. Osbourne, though, gets behind the wrestling machine, Corey Sparks. That not really doing wonders for the sacred nature of his moniker. Osbourne, though, off the ropes.
Huge drop kick delivered by Corey Sparks, the only way Corey Sparks knows how to do it. The tag was made, and Layne Cali steps into the squared circle this evening.
Well, a wise retreat. Cali going to come in here now. Sparks putting his partner on tilt. Layne's going to see how things work out for him.
Collar and elbow lockup. He snatches the headlock. Let's see where Corey Sparks goes with this one.
Sparks really laying into him with that side headlock. A lot of pressure being applied. Cali trying to push him away, but unfortunately, wrong corner. Did Ricky get the tag there? I believe he did.
I believe so.
Morton coming in. Cali taking his time, sending him off the ropes. Enough momentum, catches him with a clothesline to the midsection there, it looked like.
And Cali goes down.
And
Our
Ricky,
legal man, Ricky Morton, comes in and delivers that knee.
and that lifted Cali up. Morton taking the time to look on the partner, though. Got to question that decision. But you know, Ricky, he's made a career in there, a very good career of being one of the greatest of all time in terms of tag team wrestling.
You're absolutely.
So,
oh, look at that. He said you're number one, Stephen Hensley.
well, he did. When he takes the opportunity to look at the other man, I have to assume, considering what that man's dealt with over the years, whether it was the Midnight Express, whether it was the Heavenly Bodies or Jim Cornette,
Yeah.
he knows sometimes that psychological warfare, you got to know how to use it right back at him.
Yeah. He's not a Hall of Famer by accident,
No,
Stephen
he's not.
Hensley.
A lot of noteworthy accomplishments in his career, multiple tag team title reigns, both in NWA and in Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Absolutely.
Unique statistic for Ricky Morton, he's one of the only 4 men that I can name offhand who competed in a WCW pay-per-view, a WWF pay-per-view, the same year that they were still wrestling for their home base of Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Interesting, very interesting. And also interesting, Rock and Roll Ricky Morton putting both his opponents down. The crowd coming alive with that rock and roll chant. They love Ricky Morton here in Beckley, West Virginia.
And why not? He's a good old country boy. He's from Bristol. Bristol, Tennessee is basically as hick as Beckley, West Virginia.
Steven.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a hick. Granny was a hick. Loved her to death.
Was that her maiden name?
No. It's just a fun nickname for all of us.
Look at that big hip toss. Ricky Morton goes back to work on the arm, he tags in his partner, the wrestling machine, Corey Sparks, and he delivers some torture to the Vaporwave visionary himself.
Good torque on the arm bar. Mr. Sparks really laying into him. And Morton and Sparks, they've very much been having their way with their opponents so far.
I'm going to leave that one alone, Stephen Hensley. Oh! Huge forearm. Nice reversal by Tyler Osbourne, and look at that.
Excellent sling blade. Pulls him in, hooks the leg. And good instincts by Sparks. He pulled him away from the rope. He held that leg and that arm in close. No
Tyler
pinfall.
Osbourne still manages to kick out. Delivers one blow after another. Corey Sparks goes down to one knee. Oh!
Osbourne got him held up there, brings him towards his corner as he puts him on that middle rope and begins to choke the man. Sound strategy.
Osbourne no stranger to tag team wrestling, as we've seen him compete time and time again alongside the naughty one Sid Meier's. And having that experience is really going to show here tonight. It's going to be interesting to see how the youngster Layne Cali slides into that tag team role, as we've seen of late. Cali being a loner. Cali usually coming to the ring alone. Cali usually leaving the ring alone.
I'm not going to beat this one to death. I've said it before, I'll say it again. A lot of better men than me have said it. To first be a good tag team wrestler, Jason Schaefer, finish the thought. Why do you got to be?
You have to be a fantastic singles competitor.
That's Layne Cali.
Delivering that backbreaker that we've seen him do time and time again. He hooks the leg, only comes away with a 2 count.
And Ricky Morton looking on, not thrilled, but not shook.
No, that's the hallmark of a true veteran and a Hall of Famer. Always able to keep your cool.
Cali really taking Sparks to task, though.
I like how these two are functioning as a team here tonight. Perhaps the wrestling machine Corey Sparks and Rock and Roll Ricky Morton thought it was going to be a walk in the park. I believe they've been shocked tonight.
I mean, who could blame him? He's got to be feeling good about his chances walking into this one. He's got Hall of Famer Ricky Morton on his side. He's got himself, who is not a bad wrestler at all either, in there. You would think things would go their way, but right now,
Osbourne delivering a beautiful suplex, goes for the cover, but only comes away with a 2 count. I do like how they managed to isolate Corey Sparks to their corner, and those two are really functioning as a team. Look at this. Suplex with a bridge, pinning attempt, and foiled by Layne Cali. There again, displaying exactly what I was telling you, Stephen Hensley. These young men are functioning as a unit. They're working as a team.
Well, it's tandem offense. That's tag team wrestling for you. And when you got two great minds going at, that's the way it goes. It's like you said earlier, and it's a grudging fact that I believe even Ricky Morton may admit at this moment, given what we're seeing. I think they took their opponents too lightly. It's unfortunate.
Sparks manages to get out of the way, and then he manages to get out of the way again. That backfired on the team of Osbourne and Cali.
That's gonna leave a mark, and to steal from my old buddy Jacques, that does not tickle, friends.
A slap and a right hand delivered by Ricky Morton. He puts Cali in the corner. What's going on here, Steven?
Well, that's an airline collision for those guys. Double roll up, 3 count, it's done.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, the team of Corey Sparks and Rock and Roll Ricky Morton.
And a great win today for the Hall of Famer Ricky Morton and his partner, the wrestling machine, Corey Sparks.
What a fantastic way to end our show, Stephen Hensley. A big victory by Sparks and Hall of Famer Ricky Morton. We will see everyone next week right here on the New River Network.
With website solutions starting at only $100 a month, why would you build your own website? Get a local professional web designer from Cucumber & Company. Schedule a meeting right now at cucumberandcompany.com.